Yes, it seems that the stage is prepared. So let's begin our second city networking event. So I'd like to introduce Ms. Daria Mokhnacheva, Program Management Officer, UNDRR, ONEA, and GETI, who will lead this session. So please come to the stage. Please give her a big hand. 네, 여러분. 이번 세션 이끌어가 주실 다리아 모크나체바 UNDRR 동북아 사무소 및 국제교육 훈련연수원 프로그램 관리관님께 저는 마이크를 넘기도록 하겠습니다.
Thank you so much. So it's my pleasure to open the second city networking event of the International Disaster Resilience Leaders Forum 2025. And we will continue our tour around the world today. So we have very exciting insights and examples of disaster risk reduction practices from around the world in this session today, including countries from Asia, Europe, and the Americas. So I'm very pleased to introduce our first speaker from Portugal, the city of Almada, Mr. António Godinho, who's the Municipal Civil Protection Coordinator of Almada. And Almada is one of the members of Making Cities Resilient 2030 initiative since 2021. It is at stage B, and it is a very active member of one of the 6 regional coordinators of the network of Portuguese resilient cities and towns, which is integrated into the National Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction in Portugal. Mr. Godinho, please give him a warm welcome. Please come on stage.
Good morning to everyone. First of all, I want to thank you for the invitation to participate in the present forum. Almada is a small Portuguese municipality located opposite to the city of Lisbon. Although small, it's the 80th most populous municipality in Portugal. Our priority is promote risk assignment. Almada faces many risks. To promote resilience, the first step is to fully understand the risk present in the area. One example, it's the seismic risk study completed last year, prepared by the National Engineering Laboratory. The next step is to plan and develop emergency plans for these risks and implement these plans with training and coaching. One of these examples, it's the municipal exercise Mascal 22. Quando nós chegamos ao final do exercício e tudo correu bem, é porque o exercício ou foi mal desenhado ou alguma coisa não está correta. Nós, no exercício Mascal 22, pretendíamos essencialmente encontrar esse tipo de problemas e oportunidades de melhoria. E a quente
numa avaliação a quente já foram identificados várias oportunidades de melhoria em algumas destas áreas.
O exercício à escala enquadra-se nas diferentes iniciativas na área da proteção civil e da Semana da Proteção Civil. O exercício é fundamental para podermos testar os nossos meios operacionais. Meios operacionais e instituições que prestam socorro bem dotadas e bem preparadas aumentam os níveis de segurança no nosso concelho. E é isso que queremos, cuidar mais e melhor das pessoas e dos seus níveis de segurança.
To work in these risks in an integrated manner, programs are developed that implemented mitigation strategies. These are some of examples implemented programs in Almada. Protecting Beach program, community external automatic defibrillation program, training program and awareness programs for the population, Operation Safe Forest, Green Forest. For example, the Operation Safe Forest, Green Forests program.
A Operação Floresta Segura, Floresta Verde é um projeto da Câmara Municipal de Almada que visa a defesa da floresta contra incêndios e que teve início em 2001, após um grande incêndio na Mata Nacional dos Medos. Atualmente, abrange várias fases, como o planeamento, a sensibilização, a fiscalização, o pré-posicionamento de meios, a vigilância e detecção, e o combate, rescaldo e a vigilância pós-rescaldo. Este projeto decorre durante todo o ano, com maior visibilidade no terreno entre 1 de julho e 30 de setembro, devido ao pré-posicionamento de meios e às ações de vigilância. Ano após ano, ao longo de mais de 2 décadas, esta operação tem-se revelado fundamental para que, apesar do Concelho de Almada apresentar o maior número de ocorrências de incêndio rural do distrito de Setúbal, a área ardida seja uma das menores. A Operação Floresta Segura, Floresta Verde, compreende um verdadeiro trabalho de equipa, com a participação de várias entidades. Câmara Municipal de Almada, SEMAS de Almada, uniões e juntas de freguesia do Concelho, corpos de bombeiros de Almada, Cacilhas e Trafaria, Instituto para a Conservação da Natureza e das Florestas, Autoridade Nacional de Emergência e Proteção Civil, Guarda Nacional Republicana, Forças Armadas, ao abrigo do protocolo FAUNOS, Corpo Permanente de Voluntários da Proteção Civil de Almada, e muitos outros voluntários, através dos programas Voluntariado Jovem para a Natureza e Florestas, promovido pelo Instituto Português da Juventude e do Desporto, e Ocupação de Tempos Livres da Câmara Municipal de Almada.
A Operação Floresta Segura, Floresta Verde tem cumprido a missão de salvaguardar o nosso território dos incêndios, nomeadamente a Mata Nacional dos Medos, porque todos somos proteção civil e todos contribuímos para uma Almada mais resiliente.
Finally, Almada is one of the municipalities who integrated the network, informal network, Portuguese resilient cities and towns. This network is made for all Portuguese cities, towns and regions that adhere to the MCR 2030 initiative, currently composed by 75 cities and 1 region. To coordinate this network for the triennium 24-26, 3 cities are democratically elected for both the participant cities in November 23. The cities chosen to this coordination in this triennium are Almada, Funchal and Matosinhos. Thank you for the attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Godinho, for sharing Almada City's experience. wildfires is one of the topics that perhaps we haven't really discussed in the forum so far, so thank you very much for sharing this example as well, and the nature-based solutions that the city is applying to address this risk, and also for sharing the very interesting example of Portugal with this network of resilient cities and towns, which is a very inspiring example of how cities can coordinate their resilience work at the national level. So we continue our tour around the world, and now we're moving to the other side of the world, to Brazil. And I'm very pleased to invite the city of Barcarena. So it is located in the Amazon coastal zone, and it has been a member of MCR 2030 since 2021. And it is really an exemplary illustration of how MCR 2030 membership has supported a city on its resilience journey from being at stage A in 2021, which focuses on DRR awareness. Barcarena has really rapidly progressed to stage B and stage C and becoming a resilience hub. So it's a very inspiring example, and I'm pleased to invite Ms. Patricia Menezes, who will represent Barcarena's municipality and its work on DRR. Please welcome her warmly. Thank you.
안녕하세요. I'm Patricia from Barcarena in Brazil. I will share with you Barcarena's experience on education for resilience. So Barcarena is located in the tropical zone. That's the most exposed and hottest area on the planet. In the tropical zone, we have just 2 seasons. The rainy season, from December to May, June, and then the dry season. If you remember your classes about geography at school, the closer to the equator line, the hottest is the sensation. So in the Amazon region, located in the tropical zone, we also have the climate is very humid. I've been here in Korea during summer, and Koreans used to complain that, oh, during summer it's too hot and the humidity is very high. But it's not that high as we have in the Amazon. In the Amazon, the humidity is above 90% during the whole year. During the summer, the humidity is 100%. So you can imagine that we live in a sauna during all year because it's too hot and the humidity is too high. So this increases the heat sensation and all the symptoms that we have in the health related to this. So, the extreme heat is one of the biggest climate risks in Barcarena. The other major risk that we have in the city is sea level rise. So Barcarena is a coastal city in the transition from the Amazon River to the Atlantic Ocean. Barcarena is not a city that faces the ocean. But sea level rises impact cities within 100 kilometers from the coastline. So this is our second greatest risk related to climate change. Barcarena also integrates the metropolitan region of Belém, the city that will host the UN Climate Conference this November. So if you are joining the UN Climate Conference, please let me know so we can do some kind of activity together. Also, Kamal Kishore, the head of UNDRR, will be in Barcarena during COP. So if any of you will be in Belém during COP, please let me know so we can also invite you to go to Barcarena during Kamal's visit to the city. So the problems of Barcarena is that we have a high density urban areas. This image below is the territory of Barcarena. In the Amazon region, it's very common to have a huge territory. Barcarena is twice the size of Seoul. Actually, more than twice, a little. But we have only 100,000 persons in the city. So, but this population is concentrated only in the middle of the territory. The rest of the city is mainly forest. So 90% of the population lives in this small area, in this small urban area. And the city is basically formed by informal settlements with precarious housing. And 65% of the population lives with low income. So this also increases the vulnerability and the exposure to climate risks. I would like to highlight that the minimum temperature in the city has increased 1 Celsius degree since 2023. And to deal with these climate risks, the city takes mainly 2 actions. That is to incorporate these topics such as climate change, disaster risk reduction, and resiliency into the school curriculum, from kindergarten to elementary school. And also, Barcarena implemented the first solar plants in the state of Pará. And currently, 95% of the schools are supplied by these solar panels. This is important because, as I told you, the majority of the territories is composed by forests and islands. So in these areas, until 2 years ago, it was not possible to have electricity. So with the solar plants now, these communities in the forest and in the islands, they have access to electricity. And with all the benefits that this can bring to improve the quality of life in these communities. Not only to cooling the schools, so now they can have more comfort to watch the classes to reduce the sensation of heat, but they can also have a better meal in schools, now that we have a refrigerator and all these kind of things. So here are some of the activities that Barcarena has promoted. You can see above, this is the mayor from Barcarena with Mami Mizutori, that was the previous head of UNDRR. She is holding a publication that we call the Roadmap, Making Barcarena a Resilient City. This roadmap follows the 10 principles from MCR 2030, but localizing these principles to Barcarena's reality. So this roadmap was made in a simple language that anyone can understand the messages that the roadmap showcases. It's used since kindergarten, and for the team of the city government, everybody can understand the guidelines from this roadmap. Here you have a picture from children from the schools, public schools in Barcarena, talking about climate change. Barcarena also contributed as a resilience hub, helping and change experience with other Portuguese-speaking countries. So Barcarena translated a material that was produced by UNDRR, UN Habitat, and UCLG. Translated this material to Portuguese. This material is available at UNDRR and UCLG websites to be downloaded in Portuguese. And after the translation of the material, we hosted an online training with some of Portuguese-speaking countries to use this material. And Barcarena has also promoted a series of events for cities in the state of Pará. The state of Pará is too huge. I think the state of Pará is almost the size of Korea. And we are trying to promote the DRR knowledge in the region. But this is very challenging, Sanjaya. You know why? Because in the region, I will give the example for Barcarena. We never had some kind of huge disaster like a flood, a landslide, or something like this. So when we talk about DRR, for the people, it's like, but what are you talking about? Why are we talking about this? Because we never had something like that in the city. So why should we care? But the importance of these education activities is to increase and raise awareness that we maybe in the future suffer some risks like that, like floods and landslides, and that today we are already suffering the impact of extreme heat. But this is very, very difficult because for everyone, we always live it in this hot climate. So it's very difficult for people to understand that this heat sensation is increasing and that this is impacting the health of the population. So that's why we are doing all this effort to raise the awareness of the people that we are already facing some risks and that in the future we can suffer another risks and that we should, since now, be prepared. We are not yet, as all what I have seen since yesterday, you already suffer a lot of disasters and you are very advanced in build back better and recovery. So luckily, so far, we didn't need to recover from anything. But the importance of the education is that to prepare the city and the population for when this event happens, because everyone is subject to suffer a disaster. So that's why we need to prepare the city and prepare the population. So that's when the city suffers a disaster. I hope that it takes a long time. We are all prepared to have a faster recovery. So this is the QR code for the roadmap that I mentioned. It's in Portuguese, but you can use the translators online to translate to your language if you are interested. So that's it. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Patricia, for sharing the very particular challenges that Barcarena faces as a city in the Amazon, and also for sharing all the incredible contributions of the city to MCR 2030 and Portuguese-speaking cities and to supporting them to become more resilient. So now we're moving back to Europe, and I'm pleased to go back to Portugal and the city of Funchal, another member of MCR 2030 since 2021, and also a very active member of the Portuguese Resilient Cities Network. And I'm pleased to introduce Ms. Jéssica Pestana from the Municipal Civil Protection Service.
Thank you.
Please welcome her warmly.
Greetings to everyone present. On behalf of the Mayor of Funchal City Council, I extend our gratitude to the organizers of this event for their kind invitation and for the opportunity to share some of our city's projects and partnerships aimed to strengthen local resilience. We now invite you to watch the video we created for this presentation. It is an overview of Funchal's, some of Funchal's initiatives in disaster risk reduction. Funchal is a Portuguese city located on Madeira Island, part of the autonomous region of Madeira. The city covers an area of 76.25 square kilometers and has a population of 105,701 inhabitants. The territory is particularly exposed to a range of natural and technological hazards, including debris flows, flash floods, landslides, and forest fires. The city of Funchal plays an active role in disaster risk reduction, strengthening community resilience through policies, programs, and partnerships that improve prevention, preparedness, and response. A flagship project is the Climate Action Plan 2030, approved in September 2025. Aligned with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, the plan focuses on decarbonization, climate adaptation, and the integration of measures into city planning, all supported by continuous monitoring. It sets 15 priority measures and 79 actions covering sustainable mobility, energy efficiency, climate risk management, and biodiversity protection. Development involved extensive consultation with public and private stakeholders, reinforcing participatory local governance. A city risk assessment highlights three main hazards for Funchal: rising temperatures, increasing wildfire danger and impacting health, intense rainfall triggering debris flows, flash floods, slope instability and coastal erosion, and drought, which heightens fire and landslides risks. To address these threats, the Funchal Civil Protection Service will lead awareness campaigns to prevent human-caused wildfires, promote good forestry practices, mobilize communities during flood risk, and collaborates on slope monitoring and hazard analysis. Among Funchal's most influential programs is the Community Civil Protection Groups project. Launched in 2016 and inspired by the Brazilian community protection and civil defense groups, our project grew from a citizen proposal into a model of community-based disaster risk management. It trains community members to identify hazards, assess vulnerabilities, and practice emergency self-protection, and places special focus on psychosocial preparedness by providing training in stress management, emotional self-regulation, and psychological first aids. A permanent two-way communication channel links local groups with the Civil Protection Service, providing real-time information and a true community-centered approach. The initiative has reached nearly 17,000 people, delivered over 2,000 hours of training, won national awards in 2017, 2018, and 2021, and was cited in 2022 Global Assessment Report and Disaster Risk Reduction. Funchal also builds resilience through strategic partnerships. With the local technology company eGames Lab, it created digital education games to raise public awareness about risk prevention. It participates in the Adapt Local network, joining municipalities, universities, and non-governmental organizations to promote local climate change adaptation through workshops and peer learning. Another key effort is being part of AGEO, the Platform for Atlantic Geohazard Risk Management, funded by Interreg Atlantic Area. AGEO engages citizens in early warning systems, and Funchal is part of the Citizen Observatory for Slope Instability, which has installed seismographs and a meteorological station in some city schools to involve students and teachers in continuous hazard monitoring. In partnership with the Regional Civil Engineering Laboratory, Funchal is testing the Integrated Monitoring and Natural Hazard Early Warning System. This platform combines a debris flow early warning module and a remote wildfire detection system to produce real-time hazard maps and alerts for heavy rainfall, flooding, landslides, debris flows, and wildfires. Funchal's international engagement is equally strong. The city joined the Making Cities Resilient campaign in 2010, becoming the fourth Portuguese city in this network. In 2019, it hosted the third National Meeting of Resilient Cities, introducing a pioneering political panel on disaster risk policy. And since then, Funchal has also participated in other meetings organized by the cities within the Portuguese Resilient Cities Network, with the aim of sharing experiences and exchanging knowledge. It renewed its commitment through Making Cities Resilience 2030 campaign, and since 2024 has coordinated the Portuguese Resilient Cities Network with cities of Almada and Matosinhos, which now includes 82 cities and one region being part of the Making Cities Resilient 2030 campaign. In May 2025, Funchal organized the 12th National Meeting of Resilient Cities and Towns, partnering with 2 neighboring cities for this purpose. The event gathered over 120 experts from around 40 cities, with international participation from Greece, Brazil, and the United Nations Office for Disaster Risk Reduction, plus online contributions from Mozambique and São Tomé and Príncipe cities. Discussions explored artificial intelligence for disaster risk reduction, urban and tourism resilience, risk communication strategies, and international cooperation. Funchal remains aligned with the Sendai framework and the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. This video only shows part of Funchal's ongoing efforts to reduce risk and strengthen resilience in partnership with our community and with local, national, and international partners. We look forward to sharing experience and learning from each other, so you are more than welcome to contact us at any time, in person during the event days or even after. So thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Jéssica. Another very inspiring example of how a city contributes to national efforts and coordination to support resilience across the country. Thank you also for sharing these excellent examples of how different tools can be developed for community capacity building and public awareness. Very inspiring. So now we're moving to India and GIFT City, Gujarat International Tech City, which is also a member of MCR 2030 since 2022. And it's a very new city that was built in 2017 as India's first operational smart city with International Financial Services Center. We heard from Mr. Vipul Nakum yesterday already of how the city prioritizes DRR. And today we will have the pleasure to hear from Ms. Anjali Mishra, who's the Senior Executive for Disaster Risk Reduction of GIFT City, who will share further the efforts that the city implements to support disaster risk reduction. Please welcome Ms. Mishra.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Anjali Mishra, and I'm representing Gujarat International Finance Tech City, GIFT City, India. GIFT City is India's first operational... GIFT City is India's first operational smart city and finance tech hub, spread over 886 acres of land, and serves as a model for sustainable and resilient urban planning. GIFT City was conceptualized with state-of-art infrastructure and integrates global best practices across the world. We have utility tunnel, which is all the facilities are placed underground and which helps in optimizing the land use and also safeguarding the critical lifelines from any hazards. Then we have district cooling system, which enhances the climate resilience by reducing urban heat island. Automatic waste collection system enhances the public safety through resilient and sustainable waste management. City Command Control Center centralizes monitoring and coordinating emergency response. 66 kV substation provides uninterrupted power supply and enhances the power resilience in the city. Water and sewage treatment plant, it ensures safe and drinking water at every tap, and we also implement zero discharge policy in the city. Fire and emergency services provides rapid response and recovery capacity to safeguard the assets and life in the city. Today, I am honored to share the GIFT City's journey under Making Cities Resilient 2030 and how we are working it to align with Sendai framework. It initiated from July 22, from understanding the campaign, adopting it, then forming teams, then assessment through the resilience scorecards, identifying gaps, and then preparing the resilience action plan. And now, GIFT City is at stage C of implementing that resilience action plan and becoming a target to become a resilient hub.
This is the next page, and this is a laser, and this is a go back.
Okay, this is one. Thank you. So our resilience action plan is structured into 7 key projects, which addresses the critical dimension of disaster management. So the first project is Integrated Disaster Risk Reduction Framework. Here, the main focus was to have a single coordination in the city which can implement the disaster management activities. So we have established a dedicated DR office with specialized teams such as GIFT City Crisis Management Group, specialized DRR office team, and GIFT City Incident Response team. We have developed GIFT City Disaster Management Plan, which aligns with National Disaster Management policies and Sendai framework. It is updated regularly and serves as a living document and not just a static document. Second project is integration of multi-hazard risk assessment and mitigation. In this project, the main aim was to assess the potential risk in the city in present and the future. So we have implemented an AI-based pilot project for flood risk assessment, as all facilities are under utility tunnel and the risk of flood increases. This uses predictive analysis to anticipate rainfall patterns and flood-prone areas, guiding targeted interventions. The third project, Urban Ecosystem Enhancement and Climate Resilience Planning. In this project, GIFT City is already leading the resilience bar, as GIFT City from the beginning focuses on green and blue infrastructure. Our infrastructure integrates sustainable utilities, green spaces, and climate-smart designs. This ensures not only efficiency, but resilience against any extreme events. The fourth project is disaster awareness and community engagement. In this project, we wanted to make each citizen aware about disaster and also to create a strong network. We rolled out a volunteer program and doing the regular trainings and providing regular updates. And now we have a stakeholder network from building disaster management officers to floor wardens and now volunteer also. We have also launched an online resilience platform, a digital space where citizens can access real-time data, awareness resources, and regular updates. Project 5 is critical infrastructure resilience. In this project, our main focus is strengthening our infrastructure. So we have developed building disaster management plan for all operational buildings and also utility disaster management plan. This ensures utility and buildings are prepared during any incident. Project 6, Comprehensive Disaster Response Enhancement. Here, the main focus was to equip our teams with best DR resources and also to practice drills to test the preparedness of the city. Last year, more than 15 multi-hazard drills were done in the city, and more than 36 types of DRR equipments were procured. Project 7 is Resilient Recovery and Rebuilding. Comprehensive strategies and plans are developed and are implemented in phases, and we are focusing on building back better policies. After all this, the scorecard, which started from 2023, has increased to 322 out of 570. This quantifiable progress reflects growth in institutional capacity, urban resilience, community resilience, and infrastructure resilience. This is our project implementation timeline. We are targeting to achieve this by 2027, out of which some projects are already completed and some are in progress. To conclude, GIFT City is more than a financial hub. Here, governments, technology, and community come together to reduce the disaster risk. We are proud to share our experiences and equally committed to learn from the global peers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anjali, for sharing this very practical example of how the disaster resilience scorecard for cities can be applied to support local planning. And thank you also for inviting other cities to learn from your example. So now we're moving back to Europe and the city of Nicosia, Cyprus. I'm very pleased to invite Mr. Christos Ioannou, who's the executive member of the CYENS Center of Excellence and also research assistant professor. Sir, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. First of all, thank you so much for the kind invitation. So we're here to give you a fast overview within our 8 minutes about Nicosia, Cyprus. So, Cyprus is a beautiful island, actually, in the Mediterranean Sea. We're about 1 million citizens, and we have about 4 to 5 million of tourists every year. So, mostly we are dealing with hazards related to coastal floods and mainly wildfires. We have also earthquakes, but the risk is, let's say, more moderate, and less risk we have with river and urban floods. Actually, we have a lack of water, so we need more water, actually, in our island. Historically, we had some big events, but more recently, actually, we had some wildfires last summer, and unfortunately, with 2 dead people. So, according to statistics and predictive models, if we continue business as usual, within 50 to 60 years, the annual average temperature is going to increase by 3 to 5 degrees Celsius. So, climate change is here, and we really have to take some measures to prevent this. So, a few hint points about our steps towards resilience. Nicosia joins the MRC 2030, Cities Resilience. Last year, we participated in online workshops. We collaborated also with other countries for knowledge exchange. And we learned about different tools, trainings, and so on. In the meantime, also, we are improving the stormwater infrastructures, mainly in Nicosia, to reduce flood and loss of water. We choose to do this in 8 different zones. Mainly 6 of them are already done, and the rest will be finished very soon. Different initiations. We already have an open tender for starting the Well to Everyone 112 call. We have different actions like Polybios evacuation plan, which has to do with alerts through SMS and door-to-door visits and other initiatives as well. So, support CY started about 5 years ago. It's an initiation by the Bank of Cyprus, mainly started because of COVID-19, but this program later has been expanded actually to fires, earthquakes, and other kind of crises. Nowadays, it's involving more than 180 international partners. So we also try to increase awareness. One example is last year, one climate walk, kind of a small protest, not protest, mostly for awareness with young people participating in this campaign, and we had also people from both communities in Cyprus, Greek Cypriots and Turkish Cypriots as well. So, and also in terms of research, since I'm also representing CYENS, Center of Excellence, our aim there is to bring people together from different geographical locations to connect, interact, and collaborate together, and creating the most natural way possible. CYENS Center of Excellence has been established in 2018. The whole project is coordinated by the Municipality of Nicosia, and as partners we have the 3 local universities and 2 advanced partners, the Max Planck Informatics from Germany and UCL from UK. The aim is to perform, of course, excellent research and to apply novel technologies for solving real-world problems in different domains. One of these domains is also risk hazards, disasters management, and so on. So one of the examples here, we created a full 3D model of the city of Nicosia, and we can use this. Actually, what you see now is a fully 3D model, but since we cannot provide this in a normal screen, where you can dive in actually in this model, and we use also different data from sensors that the municipality is having available throughout the city, and we can develop through scenario simulations, for example, in case of removing buildings, in case of extreme climate phenomena or overflows and so on, and we can see the results before and after and so on, and we can make our predictions according to these models. So another project as an example from one of our teams, they use satellite images and geospatial analysis, and they provide actually landslides risk maps concerning temperature, the quality of the forest, the quality of different components, let's say, of Cyprus, subsidence risk maps and so on, and also according to the data that they receive, they can also create predictions how different aspects in Cyprus will be in 50 or 100 years from now. So we can take and prevent better. So in different things, we are also creating different virtual environments where we can provide training to people. We scan different locations, either in the health sector or outside in open environments in a very high resolution data. And we have the capacity to bring people actually from different locations in the same virtual space and train together. And our aim now, we are developing projects for firemen actually where they can receive training from different locations without their physical presence, but they will be present with their own avatar in the virtual space and receive training together. So this is actually opening the door for having training, all of us together without moving from country to country. We just all meet in virtual spaces and we can receive training from experts. So moving on, Cyprus and CYENS Center of Excellence with the support actually of the UNDRR aim to transform the disaster resilience scored into an intelligent system and AI-driven decision-making tool. It's something that we are good actually on it, AI technologies and algorithms at CYENS Center of Excellence. We are also having different Center of Excellence in Cyprus, and together we try to provide excellent research through collaborations with other European partners in order to develop more tools actually about resilience and disaster management. And a few things, of course, about the future plans. We would like to expand the Making Cities Resilience also to other cities of Cyprus, Paphos, Limassol, and so on. So far it's only in Nicosia. We want to exchange also, we plan to organize some more sessions to exchange knowledge from city to city, and so on. Last but not least, we have the pleasure and the honor in about 1 month from now to organize also in Nicosia, in our facilities at Science Center of Excellence and Nicosia Municipality, the 8th International Disaster and Risk Conference with eminent speakers from all over the world. Some of them you have seen them already here presenting. So we would like to see you all there. Of course, it's a short time, probably you know about it, but we will be happy to have you there and expand the network further. We have different kinds of topics. I'm not going to analyze them. Feel free to visit our website, and we are here, of course, later on to exchange information and knowledge. Alone, we can do so little, but indeed, together, we can do so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ioannou, for finishing with this very inspiring quote. And also for sharing all the work that Nicosia is doing as part of MCR 2030 and more generally as part of its efforts to become more resilient and support other cities in Cyprus. So Cyprus is one of the hotspots in terms of climate change in the Mediterranean. Also, thank you for sharing all these very exciting tools, digital and technology tools that the country is applying. I think this is a lot to learn for many other participants in this room. So finally, I'm very pleased to move on back to Asia, and we have Stung Treng province from Cambodia. I'm very pleased to invite on stage Mr. Kung Men, who's the provincial deputy governor. And he's joining us with the support of the Asian Development Bank, which has supported several urban resilience projects in the province. Welcome.
Yes, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished and participants in this forum. Let me share a little bit about our province. The first of all, I would like to share with you about a short video of a Stung province overview situation, disaster situation and landscape, and also the livelihood of our province. This is a part of our province that located in the northeastern of Cambodia. Yes, thank you. Now, I will take this opportunity to share with you all a little bit about our topic, enhancing local authority capacity on the role of disaster mitigation. Yeah, actually, that I mentioned before, our province located in the north of Cambodia, that share border with two provinces of Laos, PDR. And we have 4 major rivers that we can call the water resources, diversity resources, and also the flooding resources. Yeah, in this province, all were affected by the natural disaster, and the highest affected by the natural disaster is flood and drought. Yes, consequently, from the 2018 till 2024, we are affected by the flood, and especially for the 2018 and 2019, it's very high affected to our people in around the province. Because of these 2 years, we also think about and update our contingency plan and doing a great exercise of the strategy to implement our base for disaster management mechanism. Yes, the kind of mechanism as known as well that from the national level to the ground level, from the national level to the commune Committee for Disaster Management, CCDM, and also including Village Disaster Management Group. That is the ground authority of disaster management and disaster responding. My purpose of presentation today is this level. I mean the commune Committee for Disaster Management under the council. That the council is established by elections. They have the budget, they have the development plan, so that the CCDM is under the council. And under the CCDM, we divide to 3 teams: the security and recruit team, health and hygiene team, and also information and response team, including the VDMG also. To support their responsibility in the disaster management, actually from the national level to the provincial level, we support them, support the community by the available information system that called a CAMD, record by damage, disaster damage and loss. And PRISM is a record and data entry of the situation and monitoring, and also IDRLF warning system that we call 1294 in our location, and other forecasting platform and communication platform that is able to relation from the top down and bottom up, this one. To enhance the local capacity in the journey of our disaster management, we can assume as 4 topics that we provide the capacity building to the local authority. That is, the first one is ask them to understanding disaster risk, including develop hyper-local multi-hazard map that by their own, and also ask them to contribute and provide input, the great input into the establishment of provincial DRR now, like HARP. The second one is strengthening disaster risk governance on the managed disaster risk, that ask them and allow them to capable to mainstream DRR into the local development planning. As I mentioned, the commune council, they have the 5-year development planning in that mandate. So the mainstream DRR into the local development planning is very important for responsibility of the local authority and empower village disaster management team. The third one is investing the disaster reduction for resilience, including the promotion natural-based solution and flood management, and also implement a community-based early warning system that we call early warning system for all. The last one of our enhancing capacity to the local authority is enhancing disaster preparedness for effective response and build back better in recovery, rehabilitation, and reconstruction, including the conduct annual and scenario-based simulation drill and simulation exercise. Even they can conduct by themselves. Sometimes they can join with the provincial team or national team that conduct the simulation exercise in that location and adopt the build back better protocol for the post-disaster recovery. And also from this, we can identify that what we can learn from our disaster management mechanism at the ground area, at the ground level, that is find out the community be able to conduct and develop their contingency plan. And also they are doing a very active with the strengthening communication and sharing information during the disaster happen or before and after disaster. And promote the local understanding negative impact by disaster. Actually, in the natural living of our people in the rural area, they always face with disaster, especially flood. But what we ask them to understand is the negative impact from that disaster. And community also are understanding about themselves, their responsibility, and the first and last responsibility to the disaster. This is the key lesson that we understand from the implementation and practical areas at the community. And also they able to integrate DRR to the related sector, including education, health, agriculture, and infrastructure planning, and able to combine the community-based system with the modern technology by the way of implementation and the contingency plan, engaging to the transboundary dialogue to manage the impact of infrastructure construction. This is the key experiences and lessons learned from my side. That is all from my presentation. Thank you for your listening.
Thank you so much, Mr. Men, for sharing Stung Treng province's approach to disaster risk reduction. And it's good to see how well aligned it is with the Sendai framework for disaster risk reduction. And thank you for this very good overview also of the disaster management mechanism you have in your province. So with that, we finish the city networking event, and I would like to thank all the speakers for the insightful experience sharing, and also invite all of you to please continue to exchange such experiences and insights. Please do stay in touch. This is also what the MCR 2030 is for. And with that, thank you very much for your attention, and we move on to the next session.